Alright guys, this is a follow-up video on the homemade wiring harness that I made for the lighting application that I'm going to do on this 2017 Toyota Tacoma. I've already done the install. I did it last night. It was dark. I was bored and I didn't film it. I should have. Anyways, this is kind of what the finished product looks like. I've got it bundled up here because I don't have anything to light up yet. So I just kind of wanted to get this harness in, so all I had was kind of plug and play when I finally get my relay box, which I'll have a video on that later. But anyways, you can see here, I did 2 separate harnesses. Each has 3 wires in it. That's the biggest, most wires I can fit in the conduit that I had. And sometimes having a smaller harness in 2 different pieces makes it easier to work with. What I have in these harnesses is I have the red one is my power wire, which is going to supply power to all 5 of my switches in the cab. And then I have 5 command wires coming from my switch, which will come and power my relay, which I'll probably mount on top of the fuse box here once I get it. I don't know how big it is. Before you start any install, especially if you're taking off paneling pieces inside these trucks, they do have side curtain airbags. So I strongly suggest that you disconnect the negative battery cable. I go ahead and disconnect both personally, and then I usually wait about 10 minutes just to be sure I don't set anything off. But all right, a good access point for a harness to get into the cab. If you look down here, kind of to the right side of the master cylinder and down, you're going to see you can see down here where this harness enters the cab. You can't actually access through the harness part. You might be able to, but if you look to the left side, there's a cable that runs through here. I don't know if you can see it. It's this one right here. It's actually the cable that runs to open your hood, I believe. I haven't traced it, but that's what it looks like. What I did is I just took like a real firm piece of wire, shoved it through there, and taped it to my harness on the other side, and it pulled right through. You might want to put a little spit on it or a little bit of lithium grease to lube it up. It goes through a lot easier, but that is the best way to get into the engine compartment from the cab. It's really easy to find. I'll show you here in a minute, up underneath the dash. So we'll go inside. I'll show you how I routed this thing. Now first I'll show you where I'm going to let me shut this thing up. It's making all kinds of annoying noises. All right, so I'm going to end up mounting my switches up here by the in the headliner. Once I get the actual switch box, it's got a place for 4 screws. So I'm going to cut me a piece out here, and then I'll shove it in there, and I'll probably do some type of clamp or retainer to hold it up in there, but I think it's going to look pretty cool when I got it done. So my harness is actually up in here right now, just kind of hanging out. To get access to this, you'll need to take this panel piece off. It comes off fairly easy. You just kind of pull. You feel like you're going to break it, but you just pull down on it, and it'll pop right out. It's got these 4 little red retaining clips that go up in there and hold. It's pretty easy to take down. But as you can see up here, if you can see it, I've got my harness there. What I did is the easiest way to route it. I'll just kind of go the reverse way of which I did it. So I routed it right back up over the top, all the way from the back to the front. I pulled this light out here to have a halfway point. Then it runs along this back edge. You can pull this kind of coat hanger thing off. You just pop that off, and it's got like a little metal spring in it. You pull it off, and that whole thing comes down and allows you access to kind of get into there. Ran it all the way over here. This was the tricky part, getting it down this C pillar. Now this airbag runs all along the length under this headliner here, and it runs all the way down this A post. So going through the A post for a wiring harness is not a good option. It's just too hard to work around that airbag. I don't suggest it. You don't want to interfere with the operation of that in case you're in an accident, of course. So what I did is the airbag stops right about here, and it's kind of high up. And so what happens is when this airbag deploys, it's going to push past this headliner and straight down. So you don't want to mess with it anywhere in here. So I went all the way back down and around. Now you have 2 options. You can go down and under the seatbelt from the bottom. I went over the top right here, and then I went straight down. So if you just pull this outer rubber seal off, meow, like so, you just give it a pull and start pulling it off, it comes off really easy. All right, if you look in there, you might be able to see my harness. Yep, see that right there? That's a harness. So I went right over the top, came straight down, and then these paneling pieces pop off really easy. Like I said, if you have a 4-door, this may be totally different. So this is the access cab. You probably already noticed that. Anyways, this pulls off really easy. I'm not going to pull it off right now, but underneath this, once you pop this off, they're just retaining clips. It comes off super easy. There's another wiring harness in there. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to pop it off and just show you guys so you know what I'm talking about. All right. This comes off so easy. It's really not that big of a deal. Such an inconvenience for me to make this video and do this. So underneath here, you're going to see there's a wiring harness already here. Now these have retaining clips. They come off really easy. You just get a screwdriver underneath that and pop it out. So what I did is I just kind of tucked my harness right in there so it runs the whole length of this thing. Stays with the other harness, doesn't interfere with the clips or anything. Pulling this trim piece off here is really easy. If you look back here, there's a little screw. You just turn it counterclockwise. That screw comes off. Then you pop this whole panel off and you can route it right through here. Then if we come up underneath here, and of course, you can't see anything. Let me see if I can figure out how to turn my light on. No, I just took a photo. Yep. Okay, guys, I'm retarded. Let me get, this is a long video, I know. Let me get my light. If I edit this video, I will edit this part out. But I don't know if I'm gonna do that. So, bear with me. It'll be worth it, I promise. So, get our light up underneath here. Yeah, this is really turning out terrible. I should have planned this out better. This is kind of an improv video because I felt bad because I didn't record the actual finished product of the harness like I said I would. Not that there's anyone that watches this, but what the hell. So you can see up underneath here, we got this kind of cluster of wiring. Well, if you see behind that where the firewall insulation is cut, that is that grommet that goes into the engine compartment. And if you trace that super hard line or have someone pull it from the cab that goes to your hood release, you can figure out where that hole's at from the other side. Just shove your firm piece of wire through or whatever you got, tape it to it, and it'll pull right through. That runs right down along the side, right down here and into there. It's super simple. The hardest part is working with the trim. Sometimes these vehicles, when they're new, it's really a pain to get that trim pulled off, but totally worth it. I think that's the best option for running a wiring harness into the upper headliner. Obviously, if you're going to go to the dash somewhere, you just come right through that hole and you have access pretty much to the whole dash. But personally, for the application I'm doing, mounting a whole switch box, there's just not a lot of options as far as places to mount it. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it was helpful. If you got questions, post below. If you want to criticize my horrible video making skills, please do so. Maybe I'll get better. Probably not, because I don't care. Okay. All right, bye.